welcome back to our channel, Hume's Little Homestead. I'm Katie. Can you hear the ducks? They're saying good morning. Duckies. So I wanted to show that we separated. Now all the chickens' feathers are doing really good, especially that white one. It's almost all the way better. So I put the big rooster back in with all my big chickens, and I've been letting them free range. And I put all my little chickens, they're bantam chickens, and with their rooster in this smaller space. And it's been going well. I found that my bantams are the ones that fly over my garden fence and get into my gardens. And really, I don't want them in there right now because I have this hay over all of my garlic and the chamomile that had sprouted. I was hoping to keep those sprouts alive until spring. Oh, the ducks are going to follow me in here. The ducks don't seem to get in here. So you can see where chickens have gotten in here and messed up my situation. So, and where that happened, the chamomile did die back. So unfortunately, there was chamomile all right here. So that's a bummer. All that chamomile had sprouted. We'll see, it might sprout again in the spring, but the oregano is still looking good. But you can see they got in here and left all their feathers. Oh, silly chickens. I have to show how big our pig is getting. Hello, pig. She's getting pretty big. We're going to be taking her to the butcher very soon. Raising a pig has been different than I anticipated it being. It's been good, but I'm definitely excited to get some bacon. Ready for this process to be over. Everybody's waiting for fresh water. There is ice on their bucket. Kind of hard to see. All right, I'll get you guys some food and water. You ready? Show the rabbits real fast how they're doing in this winter. They don't mind the cold. That one just doesn't like being filmed. Hello? How are you doing? See, they're always on this other side in the cooler weather. So cute. So cute. I need to clean your poops out of there. Let me know they're hungry. They're letting me know they're hungry. The males are so beautiful. Just love their coloring. I really like this little one. Some exciting news is that the ducks actually started laying eggs. This one froze, so I'm going to give it to the pig, but pretty excited. They're starting to lay, and I thought ducks only lay green eggs, but one of the ducks laid this cream-colored egg. Kind of cool. I think that rooster is so beautiful. The quail are doing really well. Their water does freeze at night too. It's starting to thaw out right now. And I will get them some more, but I just wanted to show how they're doing. And come here. They're nice and healthy. And show that I'm switching over their feed today. They're looking really good. We've had a couple of eggs here and there. So I'm ready to switch them over to layer crumble. And I just use the layer crumble for chickens. And it works pretty good. I wanted to do half and half layer crumble and game bird feed. I really wanted to try that because I had seen on Living Traditions Homestead YouTube channel that they do half and half of the layer hen crumble with the game bird crumble. And our local Tractor Supply and local feed store were out of game bird feed. So this will be okay for now. I think that I'll be experimenting with half and half, but I'm going to get these ladies switched over to layer crumble so that they can start laying some eggs. And we believe we have one male in each side. On this side for sure there's just one male. On this side we think that there's only one male, but there could possibly be two. We checked all their vents and only one of them had the foam stuff come out. So hopefully we did okay at sexing them. It's kind of hard with these. There's two in there that have different colors than the others. So that one with the white on its chest is different looking than the other ones. Like that one's a male. It has the copper belly without speckles. But there's a brown one in here that's all brown all over. And that, I don't know, tuxedo looking one. And we don't know if those two are females or not. So I'm pretty sure they are. Especially because it always has its feathers ruffled in the back like it's been bred. So, but that brown one is just such a confusing one. So I think in the spring I'll put them in like a separate cage so that I can see if they'll lay an egg. I think that's going to be the only way I can really tell what's going on with them. They walk so cute though. They're so funny. The coolest thing to me is that you can take care of an animal, and if you take care of it well, they'll produce something for you. So on a homestead, you might be producing eggs, meat, milk, cheese, or honey, or anything like that. And if you care for your animals well, they always give you something in return. And I just really like that concept that if we care for things, even your gardens, if you care for your garden, it's going to produce fruit for you. These 5 are waiting for their day to be processed. We're giving them 1 more week, and I'm keeping them on the game bird starter. So we have that much left. That should last us a week for these guys. They did grow more. We were talking about processing them 2 weeks ago when they were 6 weeks old. So they are, you can process them now. We're just trying to fatten them up a little bit. So anyway, they're doing well in here. I think they like the warm temperature. And we shall see. We found a really yummy recipe to try, and we will share that with you when we do that. And that will probably be next weekend. That's the plan anyway. Look at these tiny bell peppers. I'm super excited that I went ahead and purchased this plant a while ago at Tractor Supply. It was in the fall, and I was overwintering a lot of pepper plants this year. and I wanted to buy this one, and I just left it in the pot that it came in, and it's doing really well. I did trim off some of the lower leaves because they had fallen off from the frost because the plant was outside, but it's getting a bunch of little flowers. So, so cool. Today I am going to be up-potting these nasturtium plants. I'm so excited that they grew, and they grew so fast, and they grew so well. This is the first time I've had this much success with nasturtiums. The peppers are also doing really well, as you can see, and if I have enough potting soil, I might up-pot some of them too. Especially, oh, you can't see them. There's some really longer ones on the end, and they really need to get into a pot. So let me lift it up right here. These right here. So the one thing about starting seedlings in little containers like this, you can see how small the little pots are. So they don't have much room for their roots. And when they start getting their true leaves, so these first two leaves are not their true leaves, but they will start getting more and more leaves as they grow bigger and bigger. And when that happens, they really need to be in a bigger pot with, so this is just that peat moss that it doesn't have really any nutrients in it. So they're going to start needing better soil and more fertilized type of soil. So right now some of them are still really tiny, like that one. It's fine to stay in for probably another week, but like these really tall long ones, they need a new home. So I'm going to try and remedy some of this. I have not ordered my stuff for this year yet. So I'm going to be ordering some larger nursery type pots, and I had talked about trying the soil blocking method. So that's still not out because I looked online and the soil blockers are only like $26. So that's really not that expensive for being able to plant as many plants as you want in those little soil blocks. But again, my concern is that it's just so dry here that those soil blocks are going to dry out so fast in my area. So anyway, I bought these pots last year, and I've mentioned them before. They're not my favorite. They're more wide than long. And what I found with like peppers and tomatoes, they like more space to grow down. And this would probably be perfect for like succulents that are slower growing, and you maybe would use more like of a sandy mixture. But yeah, these pots weren't my favorite to start my tomatoes in last year. And I noticed I had also clear cups that were skinny and tall, and they would be more like the 4-inch nursery pots that you would buy, the black ones, the black like 4-inch pots that are longer. But those clear cups from Walmart work almost exactly the same. So it's only $1 to get one of those big bags of the clear cups. Anyway, those cups, tomatoes grew way better than these little pots. So that was really interesting to me. So, but this is what I've got. So I'm going to use what I have on hand. And like I said, I haven't really bought anything for the spring planting just yet. And some of these little guys will be fine to stay in. I don't know about this one. I think I'm going to thin this out a little. So I did thin the Brussels sprouts already, the ones that were super long, and they're doing better since I did that. But I'm going to start with the nasturtiums. And what you want to do when you're working with little seedlings is, I have this little tool. That was a cool thing, that when I ordered these, 2 little tools came with them. And this has been the most useful tool. I don't even know. It's like a tiny shovel on one side, and then it has this like fork type scooper. And so when you're getting plants out of these little type of containers, the problem is the roots don't always have anywhere to go. So I'll show you. let me show you what's happening. So once your roots start growing, they will grow down and out. And the nasturtiums have done that. Let me look at these peppers over here. The peppers are not doing that just yet. Oh, one pepper is. A couple are. So that's worrisome to me because that's going to damage the roots. And we really don't want that. So I'm going to get these nasturtiums out. I wonder if those roots will come out okay. Okay, so that's not very ideal, but that's what I have going on. And all right, let's just get started. I'm going to also bring over my charts with my types of peppers and types of flowers so that I can, since I'm not going to be using these pots again, last year I tried to save them to reuse them, but since I'm going to just dispose of these this year after I use them, I'll write exactly what the plant is right on the pot. Because that's another thing I really need to order is those little plant markers. Because those are really helpful when I'm selling tomatoes and selling peppers. I want to make sure I keep them all organized. Okay. So I'm starting with the nasturtiums, so I'm just going to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'll label 7 of these pots. You know what? I'm not going to do that in case. I really hope that none of their stems break, but if one of their stems breaks, I don't want to have nasturtium written on here and then it's not a nasturtium. Alrighty. I'm just using a regular potting mix that you can get at any feed store or Tractor Supply or Walmart or Home Depot, any of the box stores. Maybe someday I'll make my own. Okay, let's try and get this first one out here. And this one was kind of, it had something weird going on with its first leaves, but its leaves are doing really good now. So once I get it out, I'll show you how it looks. Oh, it actually lifted out very nicely. Awesome. So very gently, its stem is really nice and sturdy. Very gently, I'm going to put it in this little pot, which I should have dug a hole first. But I didn't, because I was anticipating that to be more difficult. Wow, this seed starting kit has been I'm really happy with this seed starting kit. The one thing is, it looks like if you're growing plants that get big, you'll just have to make sure and up pot them as quickly as they get big. Okay, this isn't working. I had too much soil in there. I honestly think these could use an even bigger pot right now because they're growing so quickly. I just did not anticipate that. I've never had this good luck with nasturtiums. Alright, there's how the first one looks. And this is the one, like I said, I just pinched off its leaves that weren't doing well. And that one's kind of doing the same thing. It kind of curled up. I don't know. But a couple of the leaves are looking great, and the newer ones are looking good, so I'm not going to worry about it. Maybe it was a weird seed or something, I don't know. But it's looking good. Some of them are darker, like this one. I'm really thinking if I had waited one more day, that these could have been really difficult to remove. I think I just spelled that wrong since I'm talking and writing at the same time. Anyway, I'll show you what I mean. I bet this one will do the same thing. Move over, little guy. I'm thinking that if I had waited any longer to remove these plants, that they really would have, their roots would have grown down into that mat and really gotten stuck. There's been a couple that I've had to like very gently pry up. So let's see here. And their roots are just so healthy and strong that, yeah, this one's going to be like that too. It's like, I don't want to break your little roots. Let's see how many roots it has. So, hopefully I did minimum damage to the roots, because that could be really bad, but wow, it really grew really nice roots in this system. I had 2 that never sprouted, so I went ahead and took out the seeds. Nasturtium seeds are really, really large. They almost look like pea seeds, like wrinkly pea seeds. So I took out the seeds because I don't want them rotting, because these herbs right here are going to be staying for quite a while. They won't get large for quite a while, and so they'll do well. So I think I wouldn't start nasturtiums in this type of planter again. But like herbs and the peppers are getting a great start. But I think nasturtiums were just too large to start in this. Unless you're really diligent and get them out quickly, when like right when they sprout. I think I would even have liked to have gotten them out a couple days before right now. So just a couple things to note, that the roots grow really quickly and get down into that mat that draws up the water to wick up the water to the plants. But I haven't had the clear dome on this for a couple weeks now, and each little square has been nice and moist and the perfect amount of moisture. So it really does work. The self-watering system really does work on this product. So that is really cool. But like I said, these squares are just so tiny. I think maybe I would just stick with like these smaller herbs to start my smaller herbs in this, and maybe tomatoes and peppers. But I don't know if the Brussels sprouts have gotten a good start in this. I'll show you. Some of them, this is my first time doing Brussels sprouts too. I don't know if they're a difficult thing to grow or not, but I don't know. They are looking a little bit strange. All my nasturtiums are done now. A couple of them are flopping over, but I think they'll straighten out just fine under the grow lights. And this one was especially funky, but I didn't want to damage its roots, so I just planted it the way it was growing. So here's my Brussels sprout problem. So these 4 look really good to me. I think they look great. But these 2 are just so long and almost stringy. I'm kind of thinking I want to pluck them out and start over. I still have a lot more seed. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to pluck these 2 out. And then these seeds haven't germinated yet. So I think I'll just plant a couple more seeds down in these squares right here. And what I'm going to do, it is a little sad, but I don't have enough of these little pots, enough soil to pot all of these peppers today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at both the peppers growing in there, and I'm just going to pinch one and pull one out, and that way the other one has space and isn't competing for space. Now, if I was low on pepper seeds or something, I might not do this. I just got such good germination, and I had used a bunch of old seeds, so I did not think that I would have this good of germination. So I was expecting what happened over here with the serrano pepper. I was expecting to have some empty cells, but that just didn't happen. So I'm really excited about that. So anyway, if you wanted to save them all, you could. And if you were selling your plant starts, you might want to separate each one. I'm not going to do that. I will be selling plant starts this year for people local to my area. I did last year with tomatoes, and I will probably do it with peppers and tomatoes this year. But I am not going to worry about saving every single pepper plant in here. One exception is these two right here. These are two serranos. I'm going to try and separate these and put the other serrano right here. And that does it for today. So how I'm choosing, oh, that one had a long root. How I'm choosing which one to keep is I'm just taking the shorter one that didn't grow as strong and plucking it out. Or like, I'm not doing that with these two, but if I were, I would choose that one that still has that seed stuck on it, because this one is obviously growing better, healthier, faster. So like right here, I'll do it with these two. This plant is doing better than this one, so I'm going to pluck out this one. And that does it. That's how I'm choosing, if you're wondering. All right, and now this corner, I think I do want to separate these early jalapeno because I didn't have good success with them last year, so I'm going to keep all 4 of these plants. And I'm going to thin this one right here. But I'm thinking these 4 over here in this corner, I don't know why they grew so tall so quickly, but I think I'm going to repot this whole section right here. All of these. So I'm going to take out this one first and try and get it going in this square, and then I will take all of these 4 out and make sure and label them. And that does it. And I'll put this seed tray just like it is back under the light, the grow light. So I'm going for the serranos first, and I'm hoping not to damage any of the roots. Okay. Oh, it has a very long root. Let's separate them. Oh, I should show you how I'm separating them real gently, very easily. And then I will I'm going to put some of this potting mix in that has a little bit of the fertilizer type stuff in it, and then just put it right back where it was. Oops. Hands are dirty. All right, next I'm going to take this little guy and put it in the spot right here. Oh, wait a second. There's a sprout in there. Let me look at that. It doesn't look healthy. I'm going to take those sprouts out. They don't look healthy. 2 of the seeds had sprouted, but they're not looking healthy, so I'm going to stick with this plant right here and put it down in. And it should do well in that spot. All right, next for these jalapeno plants. Get those seeds out of there. So the first one I'm doing is early jalapeno. I don't know why I did that. I just got a bunch of dirt on my floor. Oh well, I always vacuum after these videos. Okay. So these 2 really tall ones, I'm betting that their roots are pretty deep down in there since they're super tall. Yep. Ah! I dropped them. Oh my goodness. On their buddies. Sorry, guys. Okay. Check out those roots. They really need to be repotted today. Okay. So these are early jalapeno. And I know I keep saying that, but I really want to make sure I get my labels correct this year. That is something I have struggled with in the past. And then it's always a surprise. Is this going to be a hot pepper or a sweet pepper, or what am I growing here? Okay, so these roots are a little tangled, so I'm just going to very gently remove the soil and then they'll just untangle right like that. And then you have your 2 plants. And this is what I would be doing with all of them if I was concerned about wanting more peppers than this. But this was 70 seeds I started, so I think I have like 50 peppers started because 50 of it is peppers. So I'm thinking that's going to be plenty for our family and for me to sell a few too. Last year I had more people interested in buying produce from me. I haven't sold produce yet. Honestly, I'm still kind of learning how much my own family needs and how much I need to produce for our own family. We have a pretty large family, so I'm still learning that. So I haven't gone to the farmer's market with like tomatoes and peppers. I just sold my plant starts that I had extras of last year that I didn't have space for. All right, so that is an early jalapeno, and I'll label it, and I'll do the same thing with this whole corner right here. I'm going to go ahead and get them out. All right, that's all I have the space to do right now. I did 4 early jalapeno peppers that were right here in this corner, and they were getting really long and tall. The rest of these peppers are about 1 inch to 2 inches tall, and they really will be needing to be repotted by next week, but I think they'll be okay for another week, and I'm going to get my supplies ordered so I can plant them in the taller. And if maybe I might just head over to Walmart and get those clear cups again, because they worked really well for the tomatoes and peppers last year. So I might just do that instead. I will keep you posted on what I decide to do. All right. That's it. That's it for today's video. Thanks for coming to our homestead, and thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I hope that if you are gardening, let me know what you're growing this year in your garden, or what you have planned to start, and if you can start seeds yet, because in different zones, so I'm zone 7A, I can start my peppers and stuff. I can get away with starting them in February, late January. But my tomatoes, I'm going to wait this year to start on April 1st so that I can, that I won't have to be repotting them so many times before I put them out in the garden. So I'm excited for gardening season. I hope you are too. And like I said, let me know what you're growing this year for your family, or what some of your favorite things were that your family grew growing up. Have a wonderful day. Bye.